and I am Samuel Odi. Many thanks for joining on today's edition of the program. We had a super impactful weekend with a whole lot of sporting activities, and we saw Newcastle, breaking the 7-year barrier of having a trophyless run, 7 decades. Wow, that's a whole lot of years without a trophy. So I want to say congratulations to Newcastle on their Carabao Cup winning that they won, trophy win that they experienced yesterday. So, and also we saw Eniola Bolaji, who also won gold for the second time again in Europe, in the European Paralympic badminton that's currently going on. So we'll be starting from the home front as always, but today we'll be starting with a different flair, as we'll be starting from athletics, then we'll go all through to boxing, football, and then we're going to be wrapping it up today with basketball, given the fact that come the end of this month, City League will be kicking off here in Abuja, the Federal Capital Territory, and also come April the 19th, NBA playoffs is actually going to kick off. So the playoff time is here, and a whole lot of teams are actually playing to see themselves make it all the way into the playoffs. So we'll be having all of those conversations today on today's edition of Talk Sports. Like always, like I rightly mentioned, we'll be starting from the home front, where Eniola Bolaji wins gold again in Europe. 1 week after winning gold at the 2025 Spanish Para Badminton International in Victoria, Nigeria's Para Badminton player and world number 2, Eniola Bolaji, has clinched another gold in her tour in the European countries. The bronze medalist at the last Para Olympics won the Spanish Para Badminton International 2025 in Toledo, Spain on Sunday, defeating Turkish Halima Yarzik 2-0 DAS and a standing of 21-7 and 21-10 in the women's final. It was her third gold medal of 2025, extending her dominance in the SL3 category by also winning her second gold medal in 2 weeks. Bolaji began her campaign with a significant straightforward win over Indians Sajan Kumari, who she defeated 21-15 and 21-8 in the second round before another comfortable 2-0 victory, which underscores 21-9 and 21-12 win over the Turkish Halima Yarzik in the third round, and that gave her a flawless victory. So Eniola, obviously world number 2, and she's super amazing, doing amazingly well, going on tour. Not just going on tour, she left Nigeria empty-handed, but now she'll be coming back with lots of gold medals in her neck and in her hand. So we'll just be cheering for her as she's making Nigeria proud, waving the green, red, green flag far above and making the great nation of Nigeria proud. So that is very, very interesting, and then we want to also commend her for the work that she is putting in and for her journey thus far. It shows that preparation is actually very key for you to be able to go out and represent your country. Eniola is world number 2, and we want to say kudos to her for all of her campaigns and for gold medals that she has been getting Nigeria. Congratulations, Eniola Bolaji, on your winning. And so far, moving on, Lagos State is set to host the men's under-19 Cricket World Cup qualifier, which is the Yellow and Greens. That's another name that we know them for here in Nigeria. The cricket guys are also known for the Yellow and Green, basically, here in Nigeria. Nigeria will play host to 5 other African countries: Kenya, Uganda, Namibia, Tanzania, and Sierra Leone from March the 26th to April the 6th, as the 6 countries visits for Africans sold ticket to the 2026 ICC Under-19 Men's T20 World Cup, which will be held in Zimbabwe and Namibia, respectively. The Tafawa Balewa Square Cricket Overhaul, the University of Lagos Cricket Overhaul, will host round-robin matches between the countries, as both grounds have been optimized and certified ready for the regional tournament. The Nigerians, Yellow and Greens, are in their 5 opponents will compete for the continental tickets to the World Cup. President of the Nigerian Cricket Federation, Uyi Apata, expressed his excitement about hosting the event. This is actually an avenue that is being opened to help Nigerian grassroots sporting activities be actualized and also revamped and robust, based on the fact that hosting sporting activities like this, one is actually going to increase the economy of GDP of the economy, and then businesses is actually going to go around. That's for the country. And then for the sporting activities now, it's also going to bring more avenues for, like Shehu Diko made mention of, having the grassroots sport activities developed in Nigeria is actually the key to other international competition. And when all of that does happen, that's taking care of the grassroots football and also sporting activities going on in Nigeria, then he would be able to make mention and then comment on international competitions for Nigerians that will be going to represent the country away from home. So looking at all of these angles now, I think we want to say kudos to all of the presidents of associations and also sporting activities that are currently doing all they can and what they can to be able to see that all of these associations and then those individuals playing in different sports, basketball, cricket, football, boxing and athleticism, athletes would be able to feature in the international competitions that will be coming up. So we want to say kudos, and then we expect the yellow and green under 19 yellow and greens to make Nigeria proud and clinch this title based on the fact that we have all the advantage playing at home and playing in the city of excellence that is talking about Lagos State. Now, we know how Lagosians are with supporting of Nigerian sportsmen, so we expected to see all of them come out in their numbers come next week and then support and cheer for these guys all the way to Zimbabwe and Rwanda to represent the country in the under-19 World Cup. So moving away from the world of cricket, Fury will fight Anthony Joshua for money. This is the speculation that has been going on within Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua. The fight was supposed to happen before to know who the giant is in Britain when it comes to British boxing. Anthony Joshua is obviously a Nigerian British, so obviously he's actually going to be represented and repping Nigeria, but he is born and he lives in the Britain. So now they want to know who the king of the ring is when it comes to these two giants who live together in Britain. Tyson Fury, it has been said that Tyson Fury can only come out to fight Anthony Joshua for money. Mind you, Tyson Fury is currently on retirement. So let me bring you up to speed with the current report. British boxing legend Ricky Hatton believes that he knows that it will take what will take for Tyson Fury to leave retirement and get in the ring with Anthony Joshua. The much anticipated British heavyweight showdown was being discussed until Fury announced his retirement from the sport in January following consecutive defeats on heavyweight champion Alexander Usyk. Since then, the Gypsy King has given no indication that he plans to reverse his decision, but fellow Hitton, a close friend to Fury's, has shared his thoughts on the situation. The former lightweight world champion believes that for the right money, Tyson Fury will jump at the chance to share the ring with fellow countryman who is Anthony Joshua. He told reporters that Tyson Fury retired before it just so happens they were trying to make Joshua fight. They were trying to make it for 10 years and it looks like they were still not going to make it. Now Tyson's retired, so that is what he's saying. He made mention that Tyson Fury is retired and there's no way, and they are not certain if he would be able to come and have this fight. But this fight is something that, you know, boxing fans around the world, not just boxing fans, everybody over the world that's interested in sports has been looking out for these two giants to face each other in a context. But now, will this happen? Tyson Fury is retired. Anthony Joshua has not been all that of late, you know, since his last victory over Francis Ngannou. He hasn't been all that since then. So now let's see if he would be able to find back his winning powers when he gets to face, that's if he gets to face Tyson Fury, if the fight does happen. So our fingers are crossed, and I would want to see a Tyson Fury Anthony Joshua fight, and I'm sure you watching me at home would also want to see a Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua's fight. So moving away from that, let's see how that pans out in the next couple of weeks, if this fight will actually happen. So let's talk football, and we'll be starting from the home front, where Romeo Stars maintained grip in the MPFL title race. Yes, they are sitting up clear with 8 points in the Nigerian Professional Football League table table. Yes, Nigerian Professional Football League leaders Romeo Stars bounced back from their sleep last week with a commanding 2-0 victory over Heartland FC of Owerri in Ukene. This happened last night to keep their 8-point gap at the top of the table. Goals from midfielder Olamilekan Adedayo and new signing Samson Olasupo were enough for the Southwestern club to reignite their title charge following a 2-1 defeat they suffered from Bendel Insurance in their previous outing. Adedayo opened the scoring in the 31st minute before Samson Olasupo sealed the victory for them in the 80th minute, and that automatically has sealed their victory quietly in the league. That's keeping them 8 points ahead. And now we'll be bringing you live update of what the current stand-ins of the Nigerian Professional Football League is, talking about the Nigerian Professional Football League. But before I get to those standings, we'll be going on a very quick break, and then when we return back, I'll bring you those standings from the 1st to the 10th and from the 11th to the 20th. I'll get to that updates quickly after this break. Stay with us. Yes, many thanks for staying with us as we just got back from that very quick break. And if you're just joining, my name is Samuel Odi, and we are talking sports. Now, before we went on that break, we were talking about Romeo Stars still maintaining their 8-point gap on the EPL table, sitting comfortably with 57 points, and then Rivers United tailing them with 49 points. We see current champions Enugu Rangers sitting at the number 3 position with 45 points. Ikorodu City, following suit with 45 points. Abia Warriors coming through again with 44 points at the number 5th position. Shooting Stars, who were second on the table like from 2 weeks ago, are now number 6 on the Premier League log with 43 points. Then we're seeing former champions again, Caterpillar sitting at the number 7th position with 43 points as well. Eimba of Aba, 9-time champions, also sitting at 42 points at number 8. And then Bendel Insurance, who defeated the current leaders last week, sitting at the 9th position with 41 points. And then Niger Tornadoes as well, currently at the number 10th position with 40 points. Then following suits coming immediately behind Niger Tornadoes, my beloved Elkelemi Warriors are sitting at the number 11th position with 40 points. Then Kwawa United at 39 points. We have Eyimba, Bayelsa United, I beg your pardon, sitting with 37 points in the number 13th position. Katsina United sitting at 36 points. Plateau United also sitting at 34 points. We have Heartland of Owerri sitting with 34 points at the number 16th position. At 17, we have Nasarawa United sitting with 33 points, and at 18, Sunshine Stars sitting with 32 points, and Aqua United, former champions as well, sitting at 19 points with 31 points. And then Lobby Stars on the bottom of the Premier League log table, and they might be suffering relegation, sitting with 23 points at the number 20th position. And then as it goes down, it's not looking so good for Nasarawa United, Sunshine Stars, Aqua United, and Lobby Stars. These guys might be facing relegation if they don't do the needful to, win more games and advance with points. So looking at all of that, still later today we'll be having a clash between Sunshine Stars and Plateau United. That's talking about the number 15th position and number 18th position facing each other. Plateau United will be playing away from home, and then we'll see if they will be able to clinch that 3 points away from home, or Sunshine Stars would maintain their league and protect home court and then win the points and walk away with the 3 points and then advance to probably around 14 or 15%, 15 place in the Premier League log. That will be them switching positions with Plateau United. So that's on the Nigerian Professional Football League, and we are just super excited. The league is getting more interesting, the competition is high, and most of all of these teams have played 29 games each, and then they are still looking very comfortable on the current Premier League log. For Romeo Stars, they are looking as if they want to run away with this one, but the head coach of Rivers United, Finidi George, made mention of the fact that he is waiting for a slip from Romeo Stars to overtake them. So he has 8 points to catch up with. Last week we saw how close he came by winning his match and then Romeo Stars losing. So if that does happen again, then there might be a chance that Rivers United might find a way around and then find themselves sitting at the number 1 position. But still, as it stands now, they are still going to make it through to CAF and represent Nigeria on that level. So moving away from Nigerian Professional Football League, as this is a week that we all have been waiting for, where the Super Eagles will be facing Rwanda in Kigali ahead of the 2026 World Cup qualification. Now, Eagles started hitting Kigali camp ahead of Rwanda clash, which is set to happen this weekend, as on Friday, which is going to be the 21st of March this 2025. Super Eagles players are expected in their Kigali, Rwanda camp beginning from today. As of yesterday, the coaching crew and entire staff made their way to Rwanda. As we speak now, Super Eagles head coach is sitting currently in the camp and awaiting his players. So beginning from today, Nigerians begin preparation for their first of 2 crucial 2026 World Cup qualifiers against Rwanda national team. The Nigerian team's camp opened on Sunday with new head coach Eric Chile and his backroom staff leading the pack ahead of Friday's clash against Amavio, who are also the group leaders in the series. Among the 23 players that Coach Chile invited for the matches, the early bird expected include Captain William Strong, Ekong Galatasaray striker Victor Osimhen, new invitee Tolu Arokode, and midfielder Joe Aribo, Nathan Wenger and Moses Simon, Spanish-based Sadiq Umar, as well as Samuel Chukwueze of AC Milan, who all played for their respective clubs on Saturday. On the other hand, players expected to arrive early, bearing any excuses include Nottingham Forest defender Olayina and goalkeeper Stanley Nwabali. These are always the early birds when it comes to the Super Eagles. Now there is a whole lot of work that is on the front of Eric, who is the current head coach, and again for the players as well, looking at the current situation and the fact that we've not been able to, the Super Eagles have not represented in the last World Cup, and now they are making mention of the fact. A very man is also saying, based on the qualification, that Nigerians the Super Eagles can't afford to miss another World Cup. Talking about Kenneth Omeru, former Nigerian defender. Kenneth Omeru believes that the Super Eagles will turn their ill-fated 2026 World Cup qualifying campaign around the upcoming international window, as they can't afford to miss out on a second successive World Cup qualifier, which is very, very crucial. Yet to win in any of their first 4 games of the series, the Super Eagles will be back in action against Rwanda in Kigali later this week, before returning home to face Zimbabwe next Tuesday. The 2 crucial fixtures will mark Coach Eric Chile's first assignment in charge of the team after his appointment in January. Although Omeru was not included in Chile's 23-man squad for the game, the 2023 AFCON winner believes the team has everything to come out victorious in both games. We actually have everything. The Super Eagles actually currently have everything in place for them to be able to win these 2 matches. Now, I don't know if it's very comfortable for the Super Eagles to always have their back against the wall before they bounce back, because we've seen, qualifying matches where they were at the bottom and then they get to fight and then get to finish in the second position, and sometimes even going all the way up to the third position. But now this is not actually time for all of this try and error should be happening. We're expected to see them qualify for the World Cup and do that flawlessly and not just have to struggle. Now there's a whole lot of pressure on the coach and there's pressures on the team. The Super Eagles currently have a very young squad, which all of the players are doing amazingly well in their club side. And then from the invitations that we saw that Eric picked out, the Super Eagles coach now, picked out players that are doing amazingly well for their club side, scoring goals and creating assists, no injury worries and all of that. So we are seeing all of those, and then we have a very young squad. Now it's expected of them to arrive camp early, at least today, tomorrow, and get to practice with each other so that there would be a certain level of chemistry. So it will help them actualize and then get to win these two crucial matches that would be played. Injury worries, currently we don't have any, which the Super Eagles are facing based on the 23-man list that was out there, based on the men that have been invited. So now we don't have any injury worries, and then most of these guys are actually star players and goal getters for their club side. So we are expecting to see them come back with the same powers and showcase and perform well for the Super Eagles. We are expecting all of that to happen come this weekend and on Tuesday. So we are cheering for the Super Eagles, and we're hoping to see that they would be able to make Nigerians proud and get us all through to the World Cup. So let's move away from World Cup qualifiers and talk a little bit about transfer. Galatasaray is set to trigger Osimhen's release clause. They've been back and forth, but now the Turkish giants Galatasaray are reportedly set to trigger the 75 million release clause for Super Eagles striker and forward Victor Osimhen in order to take his loan movement permanent at the end of the season. According to reports, Galatasaray's management have decided to make a bold move to permanently secure Victor Osimhen's services, owing to his immense value following his stellar performance in the Super League. The 26-year-old has been sensational from netting 20 goals and providing 4 assists in 22 league matches since joining the club on loan. Since securing the service of Osimhen on loan from Napoli, Galatasaray have made their interest to keep the player permanently known, but they have to rival other clubs, particularly in the English Premier League. Osimhen, who rejected to move to Chelsea in the summer, has been tipped to move to Manchester United, with Arsenal also said to be interested in paying the 75 million euros release clause by the end of the summer. It has been known since Victor Osimhen got to Galatasaray and playing and scoring goals and creating assists, scoring over 22 goals in all competition and creating 7 assists. What more can you ask for a striker? Now the management of Galatasaray made mention way before he scored all of these goals that Victor Osimhen is not for sale, meaning they had a loan and also a buy option from Napoli. Now they are making moves to be able to pay the money. Now Galatasaray has the money. They are looking like they are going to win the Super League. So that if they get to win it, that means more money for Galatasaray, and also more money will be available to land Victor Osimhen, and which is actually the current plan for the team. So now, by the end of this summer, we would see what would happen. Would they be able to pan out and again land Victor Osimhen, who other big teams like Manchester United, Arsenal, Chelsea, PSG are still on their radar of Victor Osimhen, trying and struggling so hard to get his signature? Will that be able to happen come the end of this summer? It might happen based on the fact that Victor Osimhen is on fire and he is happy with Galatasaray, and I don't think he's ready to make any move. But the bottom line is he knows what he's worth and he is showing results. So if you want his signature, then why not pay him? Galatasaray is making mention of wanting to pay him, so and my man Victor Osimhen is happy there. So as he stands happy, I think he might just stay there, or if he eyes playing in the Champions League, then he might make a move to Arsenal or Chelsea to be able to feature, or maybe even go to PSG. I think he's going to suit in well with PSG. But the current style of PSG now, the team, Luis is not building the team in line with anybody. He has Ousmane Dembele and other superb strikers who can navigate also and be able to manage, and cause havoc for defenders. Victor Osimhen is also one of those guys that can also cause havoc for defenders. So I think he's going to suit in well in Chelsea and also PSG. I think he will suit in more even in PSG. As a Chelsea fan, of course, I want him to be in Chelsea. But I think with the current way he plays and the style of play, but I think it's going to go well and then fit in properly without any hitches with PSG. So let's see what happens in the next couple of months. The summer is almost here, and then we'll see how that pans out. After this international break, then a couple of matches will be played again before they call it quits for the 2024-2025 season. There is this other Nigerian guy who is also eyeing to be in the Champions League. His name is Ola Aina, who is currently the defender and arguably the best defender as we speak in the EPL. Nigerian defender Ola Aina is optimistic in his Nottingham Forest side can qualify for the UEFA Champions League following their incredible run in the 2024-2025 EPL season. The Tricky Trees are currently third in the EPL with 54 points. 54 points, 5 points ahead of the closest challengers, Chelsea, who have 49 points, while for their former champions, Manchester City, are languishing in 5th place with 48 points after 29 matches. Aina had been pivotal to Nuno Espirito Santos' men's run, featuring in all games with 2 goals and 1 assist. While speaking earlier, I now reflected on the team's journey, his team's journey, and the terms that they've been approaching games with, the mindset that they've been approaching games with. So now we've seen Nigerians that are on that team who are looking forward to advance their career and also go and play on the big boys table. Talking about the big boys table now, we're talking the Champions League. The Champions League is actually the big boys table. So we would see how that pans out for Ola Aina. Basically, as I rightly said earlier, he's arguably the best striker in the best defender rather in the EPL as we speak now. So we're expecting to see the same prowess and the same level of attack and defending tackles to be featured when we would be facing Rwanda in Kigali this weekend. So a whole lot is being expected from this individual. So we'll be going on another quick break, and then when we return back, we'll be having a conversation where Newcastle end their 70 years trophyless run. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
That global television can be watched in Nigeria and all over the world.
Download the Global TV Nigerian mobile app for Android and iOS devices to watch global television real-time from around the world. What are you waiting for?
Start downloading and stay connected to global television.
Yes, many thanks for staying with us. I was just having a conversation with some Arsenal fans who are saying yes, they will buy Victor Osimhen. I said, I know Arsenal. Arsenal, they're used to using like maybe £100 million to get like 10 players back in the day. Maybe we're hoping to see if that will change. But Arsenal, currently as it stands now, their challenge has actually been a striker, all this while. But I don't know why they are, still suffering back and forth. Spend this money and get you a good striker. Like they say here, better soup than money kill 'em. So if you want to eat a good soup and if you want to win trophies, win or just pay for a striker who is good. Just like Newcastle United now, who hasn't won a trophy in 70 years, and they had the striker issue. But now Alexander Isak has been phenomenal for the team, and then they've been able to break a 70-year deadlock. They've had a 70-year trophyless run, which ended last night by defeating Liverpool, the current leaders of the EPL, by 2-1. Let me bring you up to speed with that. Newcastle United defeated Liverpool 2-1, securing their first major domestic trophy since 1955. The Magpies in the historic Carabao Cup final at Wembley Stadium defeated the Reds to clinch their first silverware of 2024-2025 football season. The EPFL match began with both teams displaying cautious play, while Newcastle broke the deadlock just before halftime when defender Dan Burn headed in a goal from a corner in the first half stoppage time. So they ran all through to the first half stoppage time on a victorious note, and then coming back again to seal the lead with a second goal, which gave them the higher advantage that they needed. And then Liverpool, coming from behind, tried again to struggle and see how they can be able to continue their winning streak, winning this title, and also going to the EPL and lifting that trophy again. It looked as if Liverpool will be able to win 2 trophies at the end of this 2024-2025 season. But Newcastle says no. It's been a very long time. 70 years has been a long time coming. So we need to do something different. And then this current team did what they can, maintain their powers, and then played all through, defended well, attacked well, didn't make silly mistakes, though the two teams missed a couple of chances, that would have pushed the game to extra time and also penalty. But, those mistakes, they didn't capitalize on those errors that each of the team made. Liverpool didn't capitalize on the errors that Newcastle made, and then Newcastle capitalized on the errors that Liverpool made. And then at the end of the day, they were victorious, breaking the deadlock of 70 years, having a trophyless run, and then emerging as victors at Wembley last night by winning their domestic league trophy. We want to say congratulations to them, and then let's see how far they would go in the 2025 EPL round-off that will still continue later after this international break. As we mentioned, Saka is getting ready to come back to the future for Arsenal. At least that is something that is making Arsenal fans globally smile. So moving away from that, EPL Marino loan on strikes gives Arsenal edge over Chelsea in London derby. Yes, they've always been a clash, and it's always a derby when it has to do with Chelsea and Arsenal, as well as Chelsea and Manchester United. Well, Arsenal edged out Chelsea with a 1-goal victory, bolstering their position in the Premier League title race. Yes, that automatically gave them 8 points. They were at 55 points before the match. So yesterday, taking away 3 points from Chelsea gave them an edge by getting them a little bit closer to Liverpool, who are sitting at the Premier League log with 70 points. This is the fairness contest London derby at the Emirates Stadium. The decisive moment came in the 20th minute when Mikel Merino expertly headed in a corner delivered by Martins Odegaard, showcasing Arsenal's set pace of Paris. Chelsea French striker Christopher Nkunku clears the ball during the EPL football match. The goal not only secured the win but also highlighted Odegaard's significant impact. The midfielder's assist marked his 5th against Chelsea in Premier League play, surpassing club legend Cesc Fabregas and Dennis Bergkamp from the most assists by an Arsenal player against the Blues. So looking at it, it has always been a back and forth 2-1 3-1, 3-2, like that. That's how it has been with Chelsea and Arsenal, as well as Chelsea and Manchester United, and also Chelsea, Manchester City. That has been how it is all these years coming. But Chelsea, still struggling, sitting at number 4th position, which is actually not very, very secured for them, because currently Manchester City are sitting at the number 5th position with 48 points. Chelsea just stopping them with 1 point, which is keeping them at the 49th position, and then tailing Nottingham Forest, which are in the 3rd position with 51 points. So looking at all of this now, it's actually very close for these 3 teams. There's a high chance that Nottingham Forest might not scale all the way through, based on the fact that if Manchester City now wins their next match, then as Chelsea comes from behind and then win their own match. So there's always something that is happening. 29 games have been played, and then you still have like around 7 games for each team. So it's still very close. Just even after this international break, we are going to know who the standings are actually going to be, and then who will relegate, who will advance, and who will still remain. Yes, I'm talking about advancing, who is going to play in the Europa and also play in Champions League, who is also going to just remain only in the EPL and just focus on that, and then who is going to go back to the Championship. Leicester are looking to go back to the Championship with their current standing on the EPL table. So there's just so much that's actually going to be done, and again, I'm just super excited about this time of the year when seasons are coming to an end. You see players and you see club side, bringing out, going deep into their bag to bring out more tricks that they would use to win, and then at least advance and have a comfortable place, so they wouldn't have so much to worry about in the EPL season. So let's advance and then move away from the EPL and talk a bit of La Liga, where Barcelona mounts late and then come back to defeat Atletico Madrid 4-2. Barcelona battled back from 2 goals down to beat Atletico Madrid 4-2, and then still sitting comfortably on the La Liga table, where Barcelona is sitting with 60 points and 48 goals. Real Madrid tailing them with 60 points still, but goal difference still remain 32 goals for Real Madrid, and Atletico Madrid with 56 points, sitting with 24 goals difference. Then looking at this, Athletic Club also with 52 points, Villarreal 44, Real Betis with 44 points as well, Malcana with 40 points, Celta Vigo with 39 points, Rio Vallecano with 39 points, and then Sevilla at the number 10th position with 36 points. La Liga is almost done, and they still have more games that need to be played, but it's just so interesting how it's looking. The goal difference now is actually the major concern, and that's the main reason why Barcelona, as we speak, are topping the La Liga table. So let's see how that pans out. It looks as if Barcelona will be taking this one away with just goal difference as the games continue. But Yamal, struck in the 92nd minute, and Ferran Torres in the 98th minute to help take the Catalans back to the top table after Real Madrid beat Villarreal on Saturday to briefly climb the pole position. Barcelona have a game in hand on the champions with both sides level to 60 points, while Atletico tail the top 2 by 4 points after they crumbled at home against Hakskin Flake side to end their disastrous week following their Champions League elimination, having twice been caught out late by Atletico this season. This time it was Barcelona's turn to provide the sitting in the tail, extending their unbeaten streak to 18 matches across all competitions. So that is how these individuals are sitting up with goals and just super excited for what is next to come. After the international break, we're still going to go back into it and then talk more about Champions League. For me, my prediction goes that PSG might win this 2024-2025 Champions League run, but we'll have that conversation on another different edition. I will bring my facts, and then I still have Real Madrid. I think the only people that are currently should be worried about when we talk about Champions League is just Real Madrid. Barcelona, I don't think they have the experience that will take them all through to the round of 8 and also take them through to the final and then win the championship. I don't really think that's Barcelona has that experience. But do they have those star powers? Yes. I'm not taking it away from Yamal. I'm not taking it away from Rafinha. I'm not taking it away from Lewandowski, who is also, I think, the most experienced on the team currently as we speak. I'm not taking anything away from the fact that these guys are great players, but a tree cannot make a forest. Just the experience of Lewandowski is not just enough to be able to carry the entire team. But let's see what happens just after this international break when Champions League comes back again. So let's move away from football totally, and let's have conversation around the 2025 NBA playoffs, where the standings are coming in already, and then NBA playoffs will actually be kicking off on the 19th of April. Now let me bring you up to date. Though Golden State Warriors, my beloved Golden State, lost yesterday to Timberwolves, and Anthony Edwards made sure that actually happened. So looking at the Eastern Conference playoffs currently as we speak, we have Cleveland, who are topping with at the number 1 seed. The Cleveland are currently sitting at the number 1 seed, and then followed by Boston Celtics sitting at the number 2 seed, and then New York Knicks sitting at the 3rd seed sitting at the 3rd seed. Then we have Milwaukee Bucks with the 4th, which are the 4th seed. Then Orlando Pacers 7, which are the 5th seed, and then we have Detroit, who are the number 6 seed. Then we have Atlanta at the 7th position, Orlando Magic at the 8th position, Miami Heat at the 9th position, and then talking about the 10th seed now, we have the Chicago Bulls. And then let's move on to the 11th seed, where we have Toronto Raptors, we have 76 Sixers, we have Brooklyn Nets, and also we have Hornets, and as well as the Wizards. So all of these guys are working out to see the play. Now currently the playoffs team are Cleveland and co. Then now let's talk about the Western Straight finals. The current playoffs now, currently those who are comfortably in the playoffs, we have OKC, we have Rockets, we have Denver Nuggets, we have the Grizzlies, we have Lakers, and we also have currently Golden State Warriors, who lost last night or early hours of this morning to Timberwolves. Then now those who are in the playing tournament as we speak currently, the Timberwolves are in the playing tournament. We have the Sacramento Kings also in the playing tournament, and then we have the Mavericks Dallas currently in the playing, and then followed by the Suns, we have Trailblazers, we have Spurs, and then we have Pelicans, and so on. So all of these guys are all in the playing section. So now let's see how all of that will pan out. Now looking at this Game 7 series, now talking about the NBA, with the current trade that we've witnessed in the NBA just after the All-Star break, we saw Lakers getting Luka Doncic, and then Anthony Davis moving to the Mavericks. Now the plan for them now didn't work out. We also saw Klay Thompson going to the Mavericks from Golden State Warriors. Now we have a big 3 for the Mavericks, but currently injury worries is affecting Kyrie currently having an ACL injury, so now he's totally out for the next of the season. But unless he recovers fast, if he recovers fast, from what we heard from reports that we heard, he is currently assuming and then coming to train. So let's see how he would be able to fit in, but he needs to be on 100% before you can play in the NBA playoffs. Now, this trade now in the long run, they said Mavericks actually are going to enjoy this trade in the long run based on the fact that they have a natural big man in Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis now himself is not all that currently as we speak because of the fact that he also have injury worries. Now let's go back to the Lakers. Can LeBron James and Luka win a Golden State Warriors in the Game 7 series, or win a Denver Nuggets or OKC in the Game 7 series? I don't think that would happen looking at the current stats of these individual teams. So we are looking at how it will happen. LeBron James is 40, who is out currently on injury, and his team, that's talking about the Lakers now, have lost 4 consecutive games since his absence. Now let's look at Golden State Warriors, who have Jimmy Buckets. That's talking about Jimmy Butler now. Jimmy Butler now moved from Miami Heat to the Golden State Warriors, and then Golden State Warriors have been 15-2 since Jimmy Butler joined them. Now, looking at those angles, now they've won 15 games and then they've lost 2 games since the inception of Jimmy Butler joining the Golden State Warriors. Now, Steve Kerr, who is the head coach of Golden State Warriors, said that they don't have size. Size actually matters so much. They don't have a guy who is like 6'9", 6'10", or even 7'1" in the Golden State roster as we speak. They used to have James Wiseman, but injury worries had to make them send him back to the G League, and then now he's got shipped to, I think, Washington Wizards as we speak. But looking at those angles now, they have the brain power. We all know how Jimmy Butler gets when it's playoff time. He is called Jimmy Buckets for a reason. You have the almighty Steph Curry, who can shoot with his eyes closed. You have Draymond Green, who is also a problem based on handoffs, faking handoffs, and then driving to the rim and scoring. Now, Jonathan Kuminga is coming back, and then in his last feature, he's dropped 19 points coming off the bench. Someone that is coming back from injury, dropping 19 points, 7 rebounds, and 6 assists for a guy that is almost a rookie. Come on, that guy is just good. So looking at the Golden State Warriors now, for me, I think the Golden State Warriors would be able to scale through and get to the NBA Western Conference and then get it all through and then face maybe a team like Cleveland or Milwaukee. I don't think Milwaukee Bucks will get it all through, but maybe we might see a Boston and the Golden State Warriors in the final again, and I think this time around it might not get to a Game 6 series. Probably they might take it in Game 5. That is talking about Golden State Warriors. They might take it in the Game 5 series, but let's see how that pans out. And talking about City League, by the end of this month, City League is also going to be kickstarting. Basketball City League is going to be kickstarting here in the Federal Capital Territories. A whole lot of teams are getting themselves ready. And in the next edition of Talk Sports, we'll be having someone from the NBBF, that is Nigerian Basketball Federation, who will be giving us updates on all of those and how the Afro Basketball Championship is happening in Kigali. And also we'll have a conversation around reverse hoopers. Yes, there are some things we're hearing, and then we would want to be sure with the current updates we're getting from reverse hoopers. This is how much time would permit us to take on today's edition of Talk Sports. My name is Samuel Odi. You have a great day ahead. I'll see you again as we talk sports. Bye for now.